they tell me I love. Okay, so we're working. We're working. And I told you that I would let you see the rocks I found. And I also promised that if you wanted one for free, if you would buy a $50 or more mystery box, that I will throw one in for free. Hey, April. And so if you would like to buy a mystery box, you was probably planning to buy a mystery box anyway, but a $50 mystery box or more, I'm going to put the rock in there for free. You don't have to pay for it or nothing. And I've numbered them so that you can send a little note with your purchase. Pick like 5 numbers, you know, that you would like, and we'll do like, if you say you want 1 and 6 and 8 and 10 and 13, then we'll give you, like, if number 1's not gone, you'll get 1 first. And then if 1's already gone, then you'll get 6, and so forth and so on. So pick your numbers, peoples. So come over here, let me show you. Now, I've got a few that were just too big to put in mystery boxes. They're on the shelf out there for sale for $30 a piece. And hey, oh, me peeps is on. Me peeps is on. Misery's Birch Soaps is me peeps. If you have a question and I don't get to it in quick enough, you can ask her that question and see if she can help you with it. And then she sends me like little messages, you know, on Facebook, which pop up, and I can tap on them, and then I can see that I need to, what I need to answer. But this is the ones that I got, and I guess I should say, I'm going to show you the rocks, and then I'm going to tell you the story. Okay. All right, so where's number 1? Hang on. Oh, look. We are making so much soap. Whoop, 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 whoop. Look at there. I bought new crock pots. I am about to work you to death.
No.
What now?
No. You haven't worked me to death.
I haven't worked you to death yet?
Not yet.
Not
Please
yet?
don't.
He says, please don't. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
There you.
Yes, lots of soaping going on. So I'm going to bring the camera down to where I can show you these possibly better. All right? Possibly. All things could happen and not be possibly better. So here's number 1. And it has all kinds of crystals growing on it. There's a little internal formation right here. Look really pretty sitting there. There's also a baby formation here. And, yep. And that one would look pretty sitting like this on your shelf, maybe lay it like that. That's the way I've got it. Here's number 2. Oh, that one's pretty. I like the way that one looks. And it has a nice flat edge right here, so you can sit it like that, and you can actually see the crystals through the back side. So that's number 2. Now this one, iron ore, crystals are formed where iron ore is forming, okay? And so you can see some of the iron ore, in my opinion, that's what they told me, down in that crystal formation. And it has crystal formation here, and it has a crystal formation on the back. So formation here. So there's a lot of them. So are y'all interested in buying a mystery box and getting one of these for free? Let me know. Thank you. It's Hillary. That's right, it's Hillary. All right, so that's number 3. Here is number 4. Oh, that's a beauty. Lots of fun crystals in there. Crystals around the edge. Where you see the orangeness, that's where I hadn't got all the clay out. I got to take a soft toothbrush to it, but you can do that with a little bit of toothpaste. can see the iron ore forming right here. This vein shows them that there's going to be crystals. One here, all over here, down in here, down in here. Lots of crystals. That's number 4. And this is another one. I sit out in my yard and I just wash them with just water. But look, they've got to be slowly worked with some toothpaste and toothbrush, really gentle. And so this is number 5. And there's another formation on the corner point here. Very carefully, you can sit this down and take a rock chisel and a rock hammer, and you can take off some of the excess rock if you wanted to. And these were found in the Jackson Crossroad Amethyst Mine. They also have quartz crystal. Now, it doesn't have anything right here, but it's got a beautiful wall of baby crystals. Plus, you can see crystals, like right here, a little formation on the side. Here's a formation on this side, but I think the piece that was right here popped off. But you don't notice it if you don't know what you're looking for. And so it's a $50 or more mystery box. And a mystery box, if you don't know, is where I go out into my store and I send out my spidey senses and I pick out things just for you. And so that one, did I do 7 last? No, that was 6. So here is 7. So like if you had the right equipment, you could break this one off and then break this big chunk off, or you can just sit it like just sit it on your shelf. And you can say, this is how crystals start. This is how they're formed on rock, inside rock. These were actually broken out of rocks. Yes. Oh, you want to see the crystals on number 7 better? Okay, here we go. So that one, and that side, it's got them right in here. I can feel them. Yeah, it's got them really pretty there. And then if you turn it, it's got a patch right here. See, I showed you 6. Okay, so 6, 7. This is 8. This one's really nice. And so this is 8. This is 9. And the black, you can see, that's the iron ore. The iron ore is a part of the process. And they actually look for, and this is actually granite. And this is actually soft granite that has not fully formed into the harder granite. That was number 9. 10 is one of my favorites. It has crystals on the back side, but it has a really pretty pattern on the front. So I like number 10. Are you, let me see what she's saying. Okay, she says that it's better at the moment, but that you were having a little bit of problems with possible poor picture. So we'll keep moving, see how things go. If one of them went bad when you were watching and your screen's cleared up and you want to see it again, call out the number and I'll look at it. Awesome. All right, so now we need to start measuring up the balm that we're gonna make. So what you need to do is clean that off, get that metaphysical mystery box that's sold, and bring it over here. Put things away, basically. Clean up the whole area right there, and then start bleaching and alcoholing the surfaces and the stove and all that kind of stuff, okay? And even if I'm on the video, if you don't know where something goes, you let me know, okay? We're getting ready to make balm. Now, I really like Levin because it has internal pockets. And you can see right there, you can see into it. And it has another internal pocket here, a small one here. So I'm really fond of that one. I think it has a little bit of a crystal here, but it could, oh no, right here. It sits best right like that. That's number 11. Here's number 12. And now this one has a good sized stone in that pocket there. Really pretty stones right there. Has a little patch right here. You know, the patch I showed you there. There's a little bit on the bottom, but nothing significant. So this one looks like that. Be really pretty sitting on a rock shelf, in my opinion. It's 12. Here's 13, a smaller piece, and it needs the clay cleaned out of it. Oh, her battery's low. You gotta go plug it up. Go plug it up. So here is 13. And the yellow glint that you're getting though is because it was in clay, yellow clay, where this mine was. And I hosed it off really good with water pressure, but I haven't took a toothbrush, you know, and cleaned it, and some of them are retaining some of the clay. So that'll go back clear. That's number 13. Oh, 14 is really a prize, except for whoever, like some of these, I'd just be walking along and I'd see a chip that had flew off where somebody else had been hammering one out of the thing. Uh-oh, 15 got, where's 15? Where's 15? 12, 13. There it is. Yep. Okay, so this one, you can, now the stickers fell off of this one. So on this one here, I really love the shape of it, but this side is beautiful, but this side has been hit, or when it flew off, it was damaged. So this is actually the pretty side. Isn't that pretty? And so that's 14. And here is 15. There we go. And on these, you know, you could take a rock hammer and you could get some of this excess off to where you just had a flat piece of it that sat really nicely. This is 15. And oh, 16's pretty. I like 16. Well, it's all baby, but I just like it. And it sits nice. 17, oh, 17's pretty. Now 17 has a flat space right here that you could sit other stones on and use this almost as a pedestal. It has crystals all the way around it. You have a little yellow one that would, I think, come out with no problem with some toothpaste and toothbrush. But you have a really nice flat zone right there. So this could be used as a pedestal for some of your favorite rocks. Howdy, howdy, howdy. And so even on the back wall, see, it's got crystals. So this one would look really pretty with maybe your favorite stones right on top of it. And you can use that poster putty to stick them on. 17, 18. 18 really shows the iron ore, and it has some really pretty crystals. All right, I'm sorry to lose you. Plug in. I thought every phone would let you watch while you're plugged in, but it may be where she has to plug in. So this is 18, really pretty crystals, but it's got that really nice black iron ore in there. 18, let's see, where's 19? Here's 19. 19 sits like this really nicely, or it'll sit like this. It's got a nice patch. I don't think there's, you know, they're crystally. You can see they're crystally, but that is where the crystals have grown. There we go. That is 19. Here is 20. Oh, 20 is a nice specimen. We've got a nice pocket in here with good sized ones for babies, and it comes all the way around, and when it sits you have some character there. And I suppose you could even sit it this way, or you could put it on some type of pedestal that caused it to stand up like a tornado. That's 20. All right, 21, 21, 21. There's 21. Nice little one with pretty crystals. Ooh, 22. I like 22. 22 has got a really pretty little point sitting up on that one. And what y'all don't get, I'm going to put them on the floor for sale, so don't fret over these if you don't want one. What don't sell will go out on the floor, and people will purchase them. But I just wanted to give y'all an opportunity, you know, to get them, and so there you go. Now this one has some pretty points, but it's also like here's one and here's one, but it's not as multiple as some of them. But this is 23. And I'm not charging you for these. You'll still get $50 or more of your mystery boxes of merchandise. You're not paying a penny for these. Oh, how do you get them, she asked. Okay, so if you go to my website, and Hillary, if you would type my website address, if you go to that website address that Hillary's going to type for us, you can go and buy a metaphysical mystery box or a non-metaphysical mystery box. And then when you are doing your sale, there's always a little place to put note to seller. And you add the numbers that you want. You know, add several numbers that you like, because as things go, people, you know, might buy, if you just put one or two, they might be gone by the time, you know, you went to purchase. So that may be Steve pulling up. Let me give you the keys. I think I've got them.
It is.
No, the key, I believe, is in the closet. I'm gonna have to go get the key to let Steve in. I'm gonna have to leave you for a minute. But I'm gonna finish 24, which is a beautiful specimen in my opinion. See if it is Steve.
It is.
All right, go tell Steve I'm coming. So it looks like the alien, you know. It's really pretty. I like that one. All right, so that was 24. And so 23 is next, right here. I got to go let Steve in. Hang on.
He said he's cold.
Cold?
Oh, that one's pretty. I like that one. What? I don't understand that.
I got buckets and buckets. Okay, so 23 is the one I did. No, I did 24. So that's 25. And 24 I was hurrying through. I call this one the Alien, you know, like from the movie The Alien. And this one is particularly pretty. I'm really fond of it. Almost maybe has a little bit of purple to it. It's hard to tell. It may just be iron ore. And so it sits here, and because of the way it sits, it would also be really good, you know, for putting other stones on the sides and use this like a pedestal. All right, it's 25. And let's see, I got a message from Hillary. All right, she says we got better service now. All right, so that was 25. 26, oh, 26. I was just walking along, and somebody had abandoned 26. Maybe they dropped it on their way out. I don't know. Maybe they didn't think it was as pretty as I did, but I like 26. It doesn't have anything remarkable on the back or the sides, but is a really pretty open area crystal. And it will sit like this or like this. So I like that one. 26. Where's 27? 27, 27, 18. Okay, that's them. That's them. Now, I'm going to show you the ones I'm keeping. And a few that I just don't think are remarkable enough for y'all to spend money to get them. So, hang on. You know, they're just little shards. I'd be going along and boom, they'd be a little shard. And it's where somebody was getting off something big and pretty, and I'm moving you closer. And this little shard would bounce off. And I didn't have the kind of equipment to beat up some of these rocks. I had some things, but not like they did. They had rock drills, rock hammers, and anything that was shiny, Kimberly would pick it up and put it in her bucket. So I got some little tiny pieces, and I'll probably sell these for just a couple of dollars here or there at the store. Like this one here, it's been beat up, you know, so, but somebody might want it. This one here is very unusual to me because the whole front looks glistening as if it's like a crystal in itself trying to happen, but there's no formations except for right on the tip. And so I suppose, you know, it can be used as a pedestal to sit others on. This one here, you know, it had a little formation here and a little bitty formation there, but that's it, you know. It's just a big old glob of rock. This one here, but almost all the crystals are either non-existent or damaged. It was a little flake. You know, I'll probably sell it for $1 here at the store. And also, I found shards like this, you know, just little bitty shards. Make it some pencil lines. There we go. And here's a little one. But I just didn't feel like that these were remarkable enough for y'all to put any effort on them. So like this one, it's a pretty little stone, but the crystals have been beat up a little. And this one has a nice little pocket, but the same thing. Some of the crystals have been damaged in the process of getting something else out of that rock. And so I've got these, but and they're nice, but they're all just, you know, $1, $2, that kind of thing. Now I wanted to show you my amethyst and tell you my story. All right, Now, my PayPal button, it's not, ooh, was that a PayPal button? Oh, it was. I hope somebody's gotten them a mystery box and picked them out of Crystal. All right. So now if something happens that you can't find a place to put the numbers in that you want, then you text 256-279-8406 and you give us the email address you gave PayPal when you purchased your mystery box, and then give us the numbers you want. And that way we'll match you up correctly. All right, so I got this little pedestal there and everything, but I found this amethyst, and I haven't took the toothbrush to it and cleaned it up pretty or not, but I found this when I dug it out of the ground. So now let me tell you how I found this one. So there was this guy, and I sort of think maybe a friend of his that worked at the mine had hid some crystals in a spot, because he walked straight to that spot, sat down, and started digging. And he didn't have any like rock drill tools, but he was a professional, you know, hobbyist, you know, but he went straight to that spot and he started digging. And he come up with this big old amethyst the size of, you know, like a baseball, you know. And then he started pulling out little ones. And he just kept digging and digging and digging in this one spot, and nobody else was getting this kind of stuff out of any spots, okay? And finally he just got hot and tired. It was about 3 o'clock, and he'd pulled out this mountain of amethyst, you know, in this one spot, and nobody else was getting nothing like that. And he sees these two older gentlemen that had been one sitting on each side of him, and he says, "Hey, why don't you come on here and take my hole? There might be some more in here." So he leaves. So Kimberly, she horns in. And I said, I come over there, I wave out a little while, you know, let them dig a little while. And I go over there and I go, "Hey guys, where are y'all from?" You know, and I just sit down there beside them and start talking to them. And then I start flipping rocks, and then I start digging. And all of a sudden I felt this crystal with my bare hand. And I was like, oh gosh, I have found an amethyst crystal, and they haven't found anything. And so I slipped it in my glove because I was afraid they'd get mad at me for horning in. So I found this beautiful amethyst, and it's not, you know, any prized possession. It's a shard off of a bigger crystal of amethyst, because you can see where it's been broke right here. And so there was another piece growing right here. It might have been one of the pieces he found. So that's how I got that. Now, you know, I have my spidey senses, and I'm very, 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 very efficient with stones. And so I thought to myself, I wonder if I'll be able to sense them stones. So I'd sit down and I'd send out my spidey senses, and all of a sudden a spot with what I call flash at me. And so I would go over there. So I found this one here, I think it was like that, and this piece of crystal like that, and it's a shard that fell off of who knows what when they were, you know, and then the machines, when they continued to dig, they covered them up. So this guy, he had done discovered, oh, and this is a really pretty point. He discovered that I had the ability to do this. He was a nice guy, and he'd been nice, and he'd helped me. He had broke a couple of pieces for me with some of that big equipment. And I said, and all of a sudden he was like climbing this mountain, and it was about 15 foot tall. And he was about halfway up, and I was across the way where I found this one, this quartz crystal. And it's the same thing. It came off of something bigger. And but it's mine because I found it with my spidey senses. And so anyway, so he said, I said, sir, because it was flashing right behind him, real hot and heavy. And I said, sir, I said, have you looked in that hole right below you? I said, it's a good spot. There's something going on there. Honey, he'd done seen it. He started coming down that thing. I thought he was going to fall. He was hurrying to make sure he got there before somebody else did. And he poked his head down that hole and didn't find anything. And when he come up, there it was. And there was these 3 big boulders. And it was a part of that boulder. And it was yellow calcite veins in that rock. Oh, he was so happy, and he gave me one, and I've put it out there because it's too big to go in the mystery boxes, I think. So I put it out there for sale for $30, and I'll show it to you. He gave me one little piece for helping him find the calcite, and he also found an amethyst with my help, and so this is, like I said, these make good pedestals. So this has got a pretty vein run through it, you know, and there's nothing expensive about these rocks, but I found them, and so I thought that I would set my pretties that I like really well on here, and the ones I wanted to keep and show off that I found while rock hounding. And oh, this is another one that I'm really fond of. I dug this out of the same hole that amethyst was in, and you can see that this has been cut off. This is a pretty that nobody that was there would have let go. So that's why I think his hole had been seeded, because this came out of that hole. And I'm really fond of it. See, it's already been trimmed down and everything. It's got some really pretty big ones on it, and so anyway, so I'm gonna keep that one. And then I wanted to keep two of these. This is the crystals that shows the iron ore, and I kept another one like that. I'm gonna put those on my rock shelf at home. So that's my babies. So you saw the numbers. Let me see if does anybody have any questions? And then I'm gonna take you off the tripod for a minute and go take you and show you. Yes, me too. I like the ones with the iron ore in it too. So I'm going to take you and show you a couple more that I found that are up here. I thought they were too big to go in the mystery boxes, and so I went ahead and put them for sale for 30 bucks a piece. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. This is sort of like a tower. Whoa, oh, there it is. There it is. That one there. And then here's a pretty one. And there's a pretty one. But they're really big. Let's see. Here's one. Let's see if I've got it in there. Here we go. And then this one here is the one he gave me with the yellow calcite on it. That's the yellow calcite crystals forming right there. He let me have that piece. And then right here is one with, oh, that light is messing with it. Let me bring it over here. That is an amethyst point growing. It's just a light purple, but that's an amethyst point growing on that one. And that's a pretty one in the back. But I like that little amethyst right there. See, am I showing it? Yeah, there we go. Little amethyst right there. And then here's another amethyst on this one that I found. And I think that's all of them. So anyway, so I put those out for sale for $30, and we'll see if people like that. So anyway, so let's see. I nearly dropped my phone. So let's see. So I believe that was a mystery box that sold. So one of our crystals has found a home. And if anybody else would like one, just go on there. A $50 or more mystery box will get you one. Whether it's metaphysical or non-metaphysical, you will get you a mystery box. And I hope you've enjoyed that. Now I'm going to tell you more stories. Okay. There we go. Put you back in the tripod. And Clint Hendrick went with me. And so I'll tell you my fun story. Are you doing okay? Got everything going?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We're going to need 4-ounce jars and 1-ounce jars. But I'm not going to do any 2-ounce jars because we got plenty.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So Clint Hendrick, that has the Uncle Goat Show, he lives up in Henniger, and he has a radical show, and you can go look at Uncle Goat, and he's already put some videos up of me and him either traveling or he's always recording. You can't get out of being on YouTube if you're with Clint. And I think he just sent me a message. Hang on. Oh yeah. He's put out a video, Becoming Uncle Goat, and so he just sent me a message about it. He don't even know I've gone live. I follow him. He follow me? No, he don't follow me. So I drive up and pick him up, and off we go. And it's like a 5-hour drive, and we got to go through Atlanta. And I told him, I'm like, Clint, oh my God, I hate going through Atlanta. Oh my gosh, I hate going through Atlanta. Oh, we'll just sail through. We'll just sail through. So this is how you drive for 6 hours for 1 hour. Did you get that? How you drive for 6 hours for 1 hour. So we get almost to Atlanta, and we're supposed to, and we get hungry, so we pull in and get us a bite to eat, and we get us a few groceries at the Walmart for while we're there at the campsite. And I paid $50 for my campsite for 2 nights, and I paid about $200 in gas because we was in the Durango, the 2000 Durango, and we had the old 70-something model. What is the year of that camper, Steve? 70-something, oldie but goodie camper. And so it's a gas hog. So here we go, and we get to nearly to Atlanta. So then, when we get back in the car and we're heading out, we got 2 hours till we're supposed to be at the campground. Like, great, we're gonna be there about 8 o'clock, 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I can't remember which. I think it was around 8 o'clock. And so we get to driving. And all of a sudden it says there's a crash on some road. You can't go that way. Totally gridlocked. Have you another way? Miss Google. And it's please press yes for accept. So I pressed yes. So here we go off into Timbuktu. But we got 2 hours. And we just keep driving, and we find a place to get back on the freeway. The cops are there, preventing people from getting on the freeway. The cars are moving freely above, no problem. We've got below the problem. And there's a sign up that says, exit and entrance ramps close at 9 o'clock. Only in Alabama could they have exit and entrance ramps that close at a certain time every night. And so now Google's having a fit for us to get on, but we can't figure out how to get on. And there's car after car because everybody's trying to get around that wreck. So there's a pile of us. So I'm stuck there for 20 minutes trying to figure out. So finally I just drive past the exit ramp. Google don't pick that up. It tells me to turn around. I turn around, I drive back, and it takes ages to get past it because there's tons of people trying to figure out where else to go. Finally, Google figures it out. Nobody can get on the ramp. It's closed, and sends me another route. I accept like lightning. So off we go into Timbuktu again. Finally, we get out of what we think is Atlanta, and we've got 1 hour till we get there. And we're like, phew. 1 hour and 15 minutes. So we drive for a while. 1 hour and 15 minutes. 1 hour and 5 minutes. 1 hour and 10 minutes. 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's like, you know, there was one time this one car just stopped. I don't know what was wrong with it, but the traffic was doing 80 on the freeway or 90, who knows. You couldn't get out of that lane. It was too dangerous. So it just backs up, and you're just praying that you're not smashed by some massive transfer truck that just creams the whole pile of you. And I'm just like, oh, you know, and finally there's transfer trucks going on this side. Phew, 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 phew. And I see on this side it's just cars. So I do a Kimberly. This is the only way I know to get out. I just start inching over a couple more inches, a little bit more inches, a little bit more inches. The tip of my car is just above, across the line. A little bit more, a little bit more. Got my blinker on, a little bit more. And finally cars are having to move over a little bit to get around me. And finally somebody gets the idea that this woman is coming out. And they stop and let me out. And I look back and there's this big old line of cars. And here's this car just stopped. Just stopped. Don't know why. All these cars, they can't get out. Hour and 20 minutes. And we drove for 6 hours for an hour. We did not get to the campsite till 3 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, I had to stop for coffee. After I got the coffee, it seemed to take the curse off of us, and we was able to smoothly move in from that point forward. I don't know what happened if it hadn't been for that coffee. So anyway, so we finally get there. We set up camp, you know, put the curtain up. He's on one end, I'm on the other, and we go to bed. Got to get up in 3 hours. So we get up in 3 hours. We're slamming things around, scramble a few eggs, put some cheese in them, chunk them down our throat, and off we go. And we get to the get there, and we pay our $50, and into the mine we go. And I had the most fun. There was nobody that didn't know me by the time we left, of course. You can imagine. And there was people that had got hugs. This one guy was one of my followers on YouTube, and he came up, and that was on one of the videos. There's 2 videos, and I got to get a big old hug from a follower. And then I got in there, and I just had so many rocks in my bucket, I couldn't get my bucket out. It was just too heavy. And this nice gentleman and his partner, they said they'd help me, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. And you know, it was hot. It was hot as blue blazes in southern Georgia. And we got out, and I opened up my cooler, and they were standing there at the car, and Clint was talking, and I opened up. There was this big old chunk of ice that had stuck together, and it was perfectly flat on one side. And I said, I just walked over there, because I could tell there was hot as blue blazes. And I said, would y'all like to cool off with some ice? Clint said, think that I made these 2 guys so uncomfortable. But they seemed to stand right there and enjoy being iced down. I just was icing their neck, you know, and icing their neck. And then I'd do the other one, you know. And they seemed to really like it. And I was just so grateful that they had helped me, you know, get my buckets in, because I couldn't do it. So then I go over to the cooler, and I've got all this food. And I think to myself, these people are so nice, and they didn't pack food. And I said, well, you know, we've all been sitting on the ground in the mine. We've just been in the ground. So I just walk up, I get things out of the cooler, and I just plop down on the chert, and I said, let's have food. And I started sitting it out. I had mozzarella cheese balls, little bitty ones in the way. I had salami slices. I had carrot sticks and zucchini slices, and broccoli and cauliflower and carrots and what we call English peas or pea shoots or something, and a baguette, and we just broke bread, and we were just eating, you know, and they were like, I was like, come on, sit down and eat, come on, sit down and eat. Clint plopped down, and so they were like, these people are strange, but they have food, and we can sit down here and eat with them. She's already iced us down. So they plopped down with us, and I started saying, eat, you know. And the one fellow looked over at the other fellow, and he said, we're breaking bread. because I done broke the baguette. And he just looked at me. But, you know, they got right into the spirit. We sit, we laughed, we talked, we had a great time. We just had so much fun, and we all ate till we couldn't eat no more. And then they went off talking to Clint, and I went back in the mine and made more friends and got more of these rocks. And this other gentleman, he helped me get my bucket out the next time. And so I went back in, and he had smaller buckets, and I got 2 of his buckets, one on each side, and carried it out for him to thank him, pay him back. And I had so much fun. But then I slept in an anthill. And I'm telling you, I ain't never slept in an anthill before in my life. But we got back, and it was getting on dark when we got back. No, it's still daylight, but we was dirty. And, you know, and we just, you know, they had the male bathroom and the female bathroom shower stalls, and, you know, one big thing, but we had separate entrances, and so we went in and got our towels and stuff, and so Clint, of course, he got done before me, so he was out on a park bench carving one of his dragon stones, and when I come out, and we got back in the car, and we went in, and the ants had taken over our trailer. The water hose, the blue or green water hose, they had hit it down here, and they were traveling up the trailer via the water hose, and then going up the building and through any crack they could find. The water hose had so many ants on it that you couldn't see what color it was. And then they was all over the camper. We looked up on the ceiling was covered in ants. And we were like, oh my gosh, what will we do? And his bed had them in there, but I don't know why I didn't look at mine. And maybe it's just from a distance it looked fine. And so I don't do bug spray. I don't spray it. I'm allergic to it. And I don't believe he can be around it either. So I just had to do the deed, you know. And so on the door, when we walked up to the camper, you couldn't put your finger on the door without touching an ant. The whole door was covered. They were coming up the things, and even they was all over the ground in front of the camper. I mean, it was as if we was literally, they were going to completely, totally move the whole colony in the trailer with us. And so we was in there batting and sweeping them out, sweeping the ceiling and getting them out. We had to disconnect the water hose so they couldn't travel up the water hose to get in there. So I couldn't wash in the camper, had to wash outside by the hydrant, my dishes. And it was horrifying. And so at my bed, they were coming all the way around the bed and all the way down. There was a trail of them this wide on my blankets beside my bed, like on the side of the bed right next to the wall. They were down the foot of the bed. They were in my suitcases. They were on my pillows. I didn't have anywhere else to sleep. It was after hours. There was nobody to help us. So I got that little bitty thing of spray. That's all I had, just a little bit in the bottom. And I got out and I was trying to, spray and kill them. But we still slept in anthill. I woke up all through the night with ants running across my face. But there was nothing to do. Where do you go? We were out in the middle of nowhere. There was no hotels. The little city that was close by was Tignale. And they had a Dollar General and a little bitty diner and a gas station that was closed down. That was it. They didn't have a gas station. And so we just, there was nothing to do. It was late at night. So I just kept dusting them out as best I can. But during the night, they just consumed my bed. They covered me in them. And I tell you, I was so angry when I woke up the next morning. And as soon as the little guy in the golf cart came along, and by the way, he had his wife with him, and they were the managers of the campground. It was freshwater. I don't know. Put campgrounds in Tignale, Georgia. They had 3 locations, and so they pulled up, and I thought for sure they'd get out and they'd help us. They'd have some spray or something. And so I walked out there and I said, I'm hollered for them. And they come back and I said, sir, I said, we've been attacked by ants. I said, I slept in an ant hill. And he just leaned back and said, yeah, that's the way it is around here. He literally did not give a crap that I had slept in ants. That is just the way it was. They charged me $50-something to sleep there, and they knew I was going to be consumed with ants, and they did not care. I just walked back into the camper, and I went in there and I got my pillets, and my pillets was completely swarmed with ants. And I walked out there and I showed them. I said, so this is what anybody should experience when they come here. And they just looked at me. They wouldn't say anything. And I went back in, and so they thought that we were trying to get our money back, I guess. And so he hollered at me, well, I'll give you your money back then. And I just looked out the door and I said, sir, I don't want my money back. I want nobody to ever have to go through this again. I said, you have got to start maintenance in this campground when it comes to ants. And the woman got out and she walked over there and she started seeing them big old, they were this wide, the trails going up my camper. And she's like, oh my God, there's ants everywhere. I said, yes. I said, there's a run this wide going through my bed on the side of it. I said, come in, I'll show you. That's okay, I believe you. And I told her, I said, we had to disconnect the water hoses. You couldn't see what color the water hose was, and everything. So I don't know, but I'm gonna put a review on Google on that one. So we just, we started, and you can actually go on Uncle Goat's channel and see a video where we stopped at the gas station, and I'm just trying to brush some of them off so that I don't take them all home. My camper is completely and totally still infested in them. And I'm going to have to try to get rid of them. And borax maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm supposed to go camping this week. It's our once-a-year fall tag cave-in. And my camper is still overrun with more ants than I know what to do with. I had to take my clothes out of my suitcase and shake every item off and check to see if there's any ants on it and send it in. Because I literally couldn't even take my suitcase in. My suitcase was full of them. I ain't never slept in an anthill, but I officially slept in an anthill. And so we got home and we survived. We had a really fun trip home and we enjoyed ourselves and everything. And there you go. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So let's see if anybody had any questions. I haven't seen anything out of Hillary letting me know that somebody had a question.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What kind of other jars did you say again?
1 ounce and 4 ounce. All right, let's see. Rubbing alcohol. Yeah. Yes, it was very unprofessional. I thought when they heard what happened that they would go, oh, I am so sorry. Let me go get my pump-up sprayer with the pesticide that we keep here and let me spray your camper. And I could have gotten far away so that I literally, my whole face broke out in hives because I had to do the spray and what was left in there. I didn't know, y'all already look at some of Brenda's posts there. Brenda, Bobwin, she has some great ideas. Honey, I took home several thousand ants. Yeah, I didn't even know, I wasn't expecting it. I mean, like every once in a while we'll go to a campground and some ants will come in and get on our food. But we've long since, nothing is not in Ziploc bags. We have 1 bag of sugar in there for coffee and tea, and it's in 3 Ziploc bags. Other than that, even the vegetables, meat, everything is all put in Ziploc bags and sealed up so that ants would not be, be able to eat in our camper. So even though there was nothing for them to eat, they attacked us and they were in there. They even was carrying eggs. Many of them were carrying eggs. Baby powder. I didn't know that.
How many of the corn are 1 ounce jars?
Hold up. Oh. Somebody must be asking about these. This is our Just Soap. This is Mike's Mess Up Soap, and it comes with It comes with 2 bars. One's Dragon's Blood and Sandalwood, and the other one's unscented. And we were making these, and he messed up the recipe. He didn't measure correctly. It was when he was first starting. And so you were there when this happened, when this disaster occurred. And you saw me be able to fix it, or you could go back and see it. And these are $10 for 2 bars. They're big bars. It's $10, and that includes your shipping. So if you send to me and Hillary, if you'll type that on there, it's Essential Soap at inbox.com, inbox.com. Essential Soap, S-O-A-P. I don't believe it's soaps, S-O-A-P-S, it's S-O-P. Essential Soap. Yes, Essential Soap, ESSENTIALSOAP at inbox, inbox.com. Hillary, if you'll type that in, if you'll send $10 to that PayPal account from your PayPal account, I will, and make sure that you say you're buying something, because that way I get your address. If you do that friends and family thing, I don't get your address, and I don't know where to mail it. So you got to say you're buying Mike's Mess Up Soap, and then I will send you one. If you want 2 of them, which you might, it's $20, $10 each, whatever you want. And a lot of people love them. But he got the oil recipe off just a little bit, and we just barely saved them. And but they smell good, and people are saying they're good. They like them. But in any case, I can't sell them professionally here at the store because Mike messed them up. He's over there. Anyway, and so we have them here. And if you want one, you can just holler, and I'll put it in there. All right, so that's that. And I told you my amethyst story. At 3 o'clock, I got nearly sunstroke and barely made it out of the mine, and had to get into a chair in the shade and drink 2 bottles of Gatorade. But by 4 o'clock, I was back in there. They made us come out at 5. And I got all these beautiful crystals and my amethyst, and I had tons of fun. And that's what this was all about. And my thoughts on this subject is, if you ain't having fun, go make some. Oh, a shop vac to suck them up. Hey, Steve, we might have to suck them mates up with the shop vac. I'm telling you, we got to do something. We're ain't infested. And we got to go camping. Oh, me. All right. So, I love you. So, if you ain't having fun, go make some. Because that's what I do. If I ain't having some fun, I go find some way to go have fun. And to me, going in that rock mine and paying $50 and hammering and digging for possible crystals was lots and lots of fun. So, So y'all go and make you some fun where you live, whether it means taking a little weekend trip or going hiking or going to a festival. Get on Facebook and look at the event section. They'll tell you events near you. You can find some fun things to do. And thank you. I had a blast. And even if I did sleep in an anthill, and me and Clint, we got along well. We'd never traveled and done anything like that before. So, bye everybody.